Hey folks, today is Friday, December 15th, 2023. As usual, my name is Jake Baldino, here to talk about all the video game news that has been going on this week, and it's a pretty jam-packed week, so let's just jump in. The first story is kind of a funny one. It's actually kind of a familiar one. It's about Grand Theft Auto under attack. Yes, this time it's Grand Theft Auto 6. It's not even out yet. It's just a reveal trailer, and people are already coming after it. This is similar to a situation with Lindsay Lohan going after Grand Theft Auto 5, if you remember that. She sued them for kind of using her likeness in the game. It was a really thin case, and ultimately she ended up losing that battle, but it was in headlines for quite some time. This time around, it's a little different because of this guy. This is Lawrence Sullivan, otherwise known as the Florida Joker, and he's been calling out GTA 6 for using him in the trailer. He, of course, is famous for, in 2016, 2017, having his mugshot on TV, and people are like, wow, that guy really likes the Joker. He has green hair, face tattoos, and the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer shows a guy with similar face tattoos and purple hair. So it's very much specifically parodying that shot. Is it an exact representation of the guy itself? That's for the courts to decide if it gets that far, but he has taken to social media basically saying, hey, GTA, pay me $1 million, pay me $2 million because you took my life, you took my likeness here. He has threatened to lawyer up and claim that he has evidence, so we'll see where this goes. Is this a clout chasing thing or is this for real? I mean, as soon as I saw that shot in the game trailer, I immediately remembered that viral screenshot of that guy from back in the day. That's where we're at with this. Who knows? Rockstar doesn't usually tend to publicly respond to things like this. Will it get caught up in court? Will it end up like the Lindsay Lohan thing? I have no idea. But this is stupid, but me personally, all I can do is celebrate any fellow diehard Batman fan that's trying to get money. But the other big news this week in terms of courts and legality is the Insomniac Hack. So there is reportedly a hacker group that has gotten access to Insomniac data, like a full data breach, and they are holding on to spoilers for the Wolverine game, threatening to release them unless Insomniac pays them like a $2 million ransom. And it is a real story. Sony has confirmed that they are investigating this whole thing, and we don't know where it's going to go. But there is already, I believe, some stuff floating around out there, even stuff about Insomniac not even pertaining to Wolverine. I don't want to talk or show anything really here because the video could get taken down. Stuff is now leaking from Insomniac, from Wolverine. So, there's some stuff on the internet. It's been scrubbed pretty quickly. But just in terms of a ransom hack thing, it's a scary thing to be working on something, whether it's a game or not, and suddenly you're hacked and essentially blackmailed into paying a mysterious group like a bunch of Bitcoin or something. It's a wild, weird world. This isn't a hot take or anything. I've seen other people say this as well. But these hackers are using their awesome skills to just go after game makers, go after the bad guys or something. But sticking with Sony, there has been some news trickling out about PlayStation 5 Pro specs leaking. There are some numbers floating around out there. Not too much to grab from them other than it's like an update on the GPU architecture from RDNA 2 to RDNA 3 with more compute units. The CPU relatively the same-ish, but those specs may not be real, and also famous leaker from Insider Gaming, Tom Henderson, has also come out saying that he can't confirm these leaks, but he said that actual real spec leaks will probably come out soon, and Sony is internally preparing for that because, according to him, and take it with a grain of salt, this is just rumors, specs will start to leak out because development kits for PS5 Pro will start going out to developers. Who knows if that's the case? We'll just have to wait and see. Again, it's all just rumors and speculation. It's a smaller story, but I figured I'd bring it up because you do see a lot of headlines where it's like, PS5 Pro leaked. Oh my God, it's amazing. We don't totally know for sure. It may be a leak, it may not. We may have one soon. I don't know. Some people only just got a PlayStation 5. So come on, man. But jumping back to superhero games next, Blade was one of my favorite announcements from the Game Awards with Arcane Leon, the Arcane side specifically for Dishonored 2, Death of the Outsider, and Deathloop. They're making a Blade game, like a Blade-ass Blade game, and that teaser trailer was really cool. I think it's a match made in heaven. I'm really excited. I haven't really talked about it too much in other videos, so thank you for hearing me out. But if you were hungry for any little extra like I was, Arcane Leon did put out a couple of concept art images. and they look really cool. It definitely sets a tone. It is Paris. It is Blade. It is dark and moody and like kind of weirdly fashionable and artsy. And they posted these screenshots also with like a link and a post about how they're hiring. So that's what happens a lot of times with some big early game announcements. It's because they want to staff up. So as us just regular people on the outside, I would take that as they're only just staffing up. They're still working on this game. It's going to be a while before we see this one. But in some bummer news, E3 is canceled. Like officially, forever. We've talked in the past multiple times about E3 being canceled like for that year, you know, and this year we knew it was canceled, but now we got the news from the company, the organizers behind E3 that's it. They are wrapping it up. It is done. That's it. And it's happening for a lot of reasons. Number one, the biggest thing is that companies are realizing now with the internet, they can just put on their own events. They can do their own thing and not have to pay for show floor stuff or stuff around E3. They can control their information more freely. Also, the ESA, the board, the group behind E3, has had a lot of weird, bad decisions in the last couple of years. They've also had a lot of leadership turnover and just some stuff behind the scenes. And yeah, for a lot of people, it seems like it just didn't get with the times enough. Gaming has become so big now, it's freaking massive, dude. It's beyond any of us. E3 should have been at the top, and they just couldn't really get there, whether it's through those choices or the changing times, whatever. So we kind of saw this coming, but still hearing about it now, even after we're like, haha, makes sense, still kind of sucks, because as a kid, I remember reading about E3 in magazines, wanting to go there one day. Then I ended up, watching it on G4 and like on early YouTube and internet stuff and wanting to go there, to eventually getting to go there and feeling like it was an immense and awesome privilege. But, you know, I went to the last one. What was the last one? In 2019? Not expecting it to never happen again. So I almost wish I could go back to 2019 E3 knowing that there would never be another one again, because they were cool. They were really fun events. They were open to the public, so thankfully some people got to really see it when they did open it up in the last couple of years, but that's where it's at. E3 is no more. There will be plenty of other events to take its place. The Summer Game Fest, of course, a lot of people have been talking about that, but all the other, like the Future Game Show, the PC Gaming Show, there's Indie Showcase, there's just so much stuff. It's really like kind of E3 for forever now, just spread out, spread thin. I don't know if it'll ever be as fun as those like condensed packed, I would take off work, like those condensed packed couple of days where it'd just be constant gaming news and showcases, but yeah, that's where we're at now. The times they are changing. I'm not going to do the Bob Dylan voice. No way. That would be terrible. That would be awful. Well, the times they are changing. Nope. The time. Nope. Whoa. Hey folks, before we keep going, this episode is sponsored by Factor. If you're new, Factor delivers fresh, never frozen, dietitian approved meals right to your doorstep. And it's super easy. What's great is that we have a fully stocked fridge here at the office. And basically, you just take one, boom, in the microwave for 2 minutes, and you're good to go. They're good real meals, so you feel better afterwards. It's not like like we're splurging on fast food again, or you get caught up running outside buying groceries all the time. This takes the guesswork out of eating during the day, and that has been so clutch for me personally. They offer keto, calorie smart, chef's choice, and vegan and veggie options, which include seafood, meat, and plant-based meals. So there's just a lot of choices, a lot of ways to eat and feel pretty good. They have a lot of options on your website, and you can customize how many you get sent to you and what exactly you get sent to you. Check out the fall flavors if you're down for something a little different. Those are pretty delicious as well. So if you want to check it out and you want to start eating, all you got to do is click the link in the description down below or head to factor75.com and use code gameranx50 to get 50% off your first Factor box. That's right, 50% off. That's good eats. That's gameranx50 as the code, factor75.com. Get eating, and big thanks to Factor for sponsoring these videos. Also, sorry, in just a little bit more bummer news, more layoffs have been happening in the game industry now. It's up to like thousands this year from the economy and maybe just like the publisher model and higher ups making bad decisions. The latest is some people from Wizards of the Coast, Dungeons and Dragons people, many of them who had their hands in getting Baldur's Gate 3 made, which is unfortunate, Also, the room right now at the time of recording, it's not officially confirmed, but it seems like Embrace Your Group is laying off a ton more people, specifically from like Splitgate and 3D Realms, legendary classic developers, and apparently they're being like nearly gutted by half. I will link the most updated report I can find, as well as everything else I talk about in the show. But yeah, especially right before the holidays, it's just like a long line of people suddenly caught short from their jobs. And it's not just the gaming industry. It's happening to a lot of us out there, other industries, other jobs, and it sucks. So if you do make games or you work around games and you were laid off, just know that we're thinking of you, and good luck. And in some last minute bummer surprise news, we got to add this in. Naughty Dog has officially announced that they have canceled the Last of Us online multiplayer game. This new Last of Us Factions game that was originally intended to be an add-on for The Last of Us Part 2 eventually became its own project, has now officially been scrapped. And personally, I'm really bummed because The Last of Us Factions was like one of the few multiplayer games, modern multiplayer games, I really got into. So I was looking forward to this. Their statement is very interesting. Part of it says, and I quote, "In ramping up to full production, the massive scope of our ambition became clear. To release and support The Last of Us Online, we'd have to put all our studio resources behind supporting post-launch content for years to come, severely impacting development on future single-player games. So we had two paths in front of us: become a solely live service game studio or continue to focus on single-player narrative games that have defined Naughty Dog's heritage." They also confirmed, and I quote, "We have more than one ambitious brand new single-player game that we're working on here at Naughty Dog, and we can't wait to share more about what comes next." Interesting statement where they felt like they had to commit to either being like a games as a service maker or a single-player studio. With a studio as big as Naughty Dog, I don't know. I'm curious to hear what you guys think about this statement, but ultimately, I do prefer single-player adventure games, so I'm glad that won out in the end, but still, I was really looking forward to this, so yeah. Now jumping over to some other wild and weird news. The day before released, and it's not good. Yes, what everybody was thinking, a lot of people were throwing around that it was like going to be a scam or it wasn't real. It seemed like most of that was true. I didn't do the before you buy on this. Every so often, like I can't do every single before you buy, so I have to delegate them. So Falcon and Eric behind the scenes checked out the day before, and yeah, it's a mess. You've probably seen all the viral videos already. We linked it in the description down below, but the interesting thing is that it was so bad that Steam delisted it. They took it away, so you couldn't purchase it. And then shortly after that, there was the announcement from Fantastic, the developers, that they're shutting down. They were like, "Hey, this didn't work. We're shutting down. See ya." Just very aggressive, very weird. They were even replying to people on social media being like, "Shit happens." That's an actual quote from the developers. So weird, wild time. Was it a small group of developers like over their heads? I don't know what it was, but the initial trailer that seemed really cool, people were interested, made the game be massively wishlisted on Steam. So there are still some people out there that got the game hoping it would be this cool thing, and they only saw that first trailer, and now here we are. That sucks. But thankfully, it seems like everybody's going to get a refund, and I hope they do. What a shit show. But in other news, just some other trailers and stuff I've linked in the description down below. Asgard's Wrath 2 is a VR game dropping pretty soon, and the reviews for it are really good. So I'm curious to check that out. That like totally caught me off guard. I knew the first one was good. I played a little bit of it, but damn. Also, God of War Ragnarok Valhalla, the free expansion DLC that Sony Santa Monica just dropped, it apparently is pretty good and worth playing. I haven't gotten to jump into it yet. I re-downloaded it for this weekend, but word on the street is that it's actually really cool and adds some story stuff. So I really want to see what that's about. So I just wanted to put that on your guys' radar, like don't forget it, but also don't forget Dusk. Dusk is one of my favorite kind of like retro style first-person shooters, absolutely incredible, and they just re-released like an updated version called Dusk HD, and yeah, if you want to check that out, that is linked in the description down below. Also, Ready or Not 1.0 is out, and it seems like people are really digging this. A little bit more of like something more intense, tactical-focused shooter. As an old-school fan of like original Ghost Recon, original Rainbow Six, this is just what the doctor ordered. I want to check this out at some point, but there's so many games out right now. It's insane. Also, I do want to link a new trailer, a gameplay trailer for mouse. Now, we highlighted this back when like an early, just like quick production clip went viral. But now we have a full trailer, and this is like a 1930s cartoon first-person shooter. And it looks like it actually plays like a real first-person shooter. You can tell the person is playing, I think, with keyboard and mouse, and it looks pretty intense, but it's like goofy like finger guns and silly blunderbusses, and like, you know, bad guys that you're shooting are like, their heads are falling off or they're turning into ash, like old cartoon style stuff that I absolutely love. I hope this is awesome, even from the developers here after they put it out. We're not going to see it anytime soon, but I am keeping my eye on this one, and we will keep you informed. Because me personally, like, I love stuff like this. I just love cartoons of all time periods, and I love game developers playing with different art styles and mediums, and I hope this is cool. Anyway, one other story I wanted to touch on is Hideo Kojima and Kojima Productions has announced that the Death Stranding movie has a publishing partner. We knew there was a Death Stranding movie coming that made headlines a while back, but now we know that Kojima Productions is working with A24 to make a Death Stranding movie. A24, for the last like decade or so, has been making waves as a movie company, doing some pretty cool, unique stuff, like X, Pearl, if you like horror movies, Midsummer, Talk to Me most recently, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Like, they do all kinds of stuff, but it's usually got a really cool creative spin on it. And I actually think this partner really makes sense. Good on Kojima for nailing something so big like that. Like, A24 is still kind of like the darling in the movie world. And I actually think like A24 choices and their vibe and their aesthetic definitely matches up with Death Stranding. I could totally see a Death Stranding movie by A24, but that's just crazy. Good for video games here. This is nuts. I'm curious. A lot of people are just questioning, like, what is a Death Stranding movie going to be like? Is it going to kind of like focus up that story that got a little messy towards the end? That was like my one real complaint about that game. You know, is it going to be the same character? Is it really going to be the actors from the games playing their characters in the movie? Who knows? It's probably going to be a while before we actually see anything. I mean, there's still a Metal Gear Solid movie in the works. So, video game movies are weird, man. But with that, that's the gaming news this week. So I want to hear from you guys in the comments, of course. But I just wanted to say also, this is the last recorded Friday show for the year. We're going to have stuff every Friday for you up after the holidays. You know, I'm going to do like a wrap up and the game of the year thing. But as of me talking to you right now, December 15th, that's it. So thank you guys for watching every Friday. Another year in the books. I hope you have a happy holiday, whatever you celebrate. If you celebrate anything, if you don't, just have a great time. Happy New Year. Happy, healthy, all that. Good luck. Let's go kill it in 2024. And thank you again for watching this stuff for so long. You know, it keeps us working. It keeps us paying our bills. So thank you. But yeah, let's talk about the stories this week. The PS5 Pro, spec leak, whatever. But the Grand Theft Auto story. Are you with Florida Joker Man, or are you against him? What do you think about the Wolverine hack? Have you caught any glimpses of anything online? Also, of the new trailers and stuff. What are you excited about? Are you a VR person like me? Are you interested in Asgard's Wrath 2? Are you an unfortunate soul that purchased the day before? Maybe maybe you love Misery. I don't know. But let's talk about any of this stuff down in the comments. There's a lot to talk about, so let us know. And also, pinned comment in that thread, be sure to drop what you're playing this weekend for research so we can tailor our videos to you guys. But that's really it. So thank you guys for watching. Really, I mean it. Have a good one. Be safe. I'm Jake Baldino. Pizza's on me.